So what's happening with our insurance?
Well, what we're going to talk about today is cyber liability.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh.
So we're going to talk about cyber liability. Basically, a lot of people don't understand what cyber liability. They don't think they have exposures. They think of hackers, like from the the '90s movie with Angelina Jolie or The Matrix, where they're all typing and all that.
Now it's like 8th grade kids sitting in class in junior high.
No, these are soccer moms that are doing this nowadays. So the ransomware software and all that is very accessible. The typical hackers nowadays that are doing this are your just regular people. They get online, they download the software, they get an email list, and they just spoof. And they send it out. And it doesn't matter that you don't think you have an exposure. They don't care. They just want you to click. And once you click, then you have the issue that, the Trojan horse is in the system and it's worming its way through everything. So what I wanted to kind of explain is that just because you don't think you have an exposure does not mean that your email is out there and you might get tagged. And what's real interesting is the #1 industry for cyber. Do you know which one it is?
It's title companies.
Title companies.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they get nailed more than anybody else. And that's the major issue. I did a whole class on the dark web and watched these people pull emails from Chick-fil-A employees, passwords, usernames, the whole 9 yards. We pulled like at least 30 within like seconds. So people have exposures and it will cost you. It's real simple. They get it on your system, worms its way through, and next thing you know, they have a screen pop up that says pay us 10,000 in Bitcoins, we'll delete everything. And that's how it works. And there are policies out there, it's called cyber liability. It's designed to cover the ransomware, the rebuilding of your system and everything. Super easy to get quotes.
Now, do people, it doesn't just have to, I guess, be business owners, I guess it'll be anybody, but mainly business owners and things like that. Do a lot of them think, this will never happen to me. My business is not one that's going to be targeted.
Yeah, a lot of times I hear, oh, well, we have really good firewall. We
Right.
have, all this stuff, or the people that do our IT are really good. Well, yeah, that's true, but that doesn't keep you from having an exposure at all. And I don't beg for many things, but if you're listening and you own a business, I beg you to get a quote for cyber liability.
Just get a quote.
Just get a quote. It's really, depending on the type of business that you have, it's not as expensive as you think. It's really not. And just get a quote and know ahead of time, because it is happening all the time. And when it happens to you and you're out there by yourself trying to figure it out, I can't even imagine.
Right.
Well, and it's not just you that's going to click on that email. It's your employee that
Yeah.
sees it and click, and it's done.
And they look so legitimate.
Yeah, social engineering emails is a major problem. There's a lot of programs out there. There's companies that will actually train your employees. One of my favorite is they'll actually create a spoof email and send it out to the company and find out which one of you are clicking the emails. And what's real fun is once you click that link, it sets you up with a time and a training schedule to actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's ways to learn who the people are and actually get them the proper training. And a lot of cyber companies will provide that for free, because as long as they're training you, they're not going to pay out a claim. So why not take advantage of the free training along with having the liability?
And I did hear an interesting fact. I was in a meeting last week, and they were talking about this exposure, and somebody asked, well, if you pay the ransom, do they ever not give you your stuff back? And they say, no, they give it back.
They give it back because what a lot of people don't understand is that these insurance companies, the cyber ones, the major ones that specifically work with those groups, they rate the hackers. They give them a 5-star rating. And the thing is if, let's say if you are a hacker and you put ransomware on someone's system and you get your 10,000 in Bitcoins, you're like, woohoo, and you delete their system, the next person that has, clicks on it, you go through this thing, the insurance company's going to look at you and say, oh, last time we dealt with this group, they deleted our system. We're not going to pay. We're just going to go on ahead and do the restoring of your system. And they're not going to get paid. So the hackers want to give you your stuff back. They want to give the money. They're not there to destroy it because it looks bad on them, and the next time, they're not going to make their money. So it's a game to these people.
And they said that they're actually pretty nice to deal with, which is crazy to say because they're criminals. But you know,
They're
they said,
soccer moms.
they
They're
said
just
that you know, one guy was telling a story that they gave them whatever they needed to get the system back, and it didn't work. And they go, "Oh, we're sorry. Here, try this," you know, and it worked. So it's insane to us, but it's happening.
You know what they get to thinking about? I mean, like, I was sitting there thinking about what Grant does and what you guys do, where you have a database with a lot of different businesses involved.
Yeah.
Man, that would be like walking into a store and picking out different people and stuff.
We
But
would
it's,
be.
but I mean, those are not even the big ones. You think about daycares and the information that a daycare has, where they have personal information about parents, where they work, their kids, all that information. So it's even small organizations, not just big, you know,
Right.
companies.
Right. And another one, and you know, they say, "Oh well, my stuff's secure; it's in the cloud." There isn't really a cloud in the sky where your stuff is. It's a server in another, you know.
Dude, what? I thought I had my own cloud.
Yeah.
No.
And so, I mean, again,
You're
you
on
know,
a cloud.
yeah, that's a whole other. But I mean, and you
I'm
know,
very disappointed now.
but the thing is, it doesn't have anything to do with the security of your system. It's that's not it, you know. And I don't know. While we have sat here, and at 7:50, I probably, if I had to guess, I've probably gotten like 35 emails since I stopped looking at my phone. And so when you get a lot of emails, you have your employees. They just get so many. Even if they're well trained and everything, it's still possible that they're going to accidentally click on stuff. They look so legitimate. So we get them at the office all the time. Like our voicemails come to our email, you know, but then we'll get, and those look a certain way, but then we'll get one where, oh, you know, Sonia Edwards has received a voicemail from, you know, click here, and it's not our system. But if we didn't already get our voicemails that way, I could see somebody clicking
But
on it.
we get links. I've gotten several that say, you know, you have a DocuSign. Well, I mean, I know we don't use that, so.
Right. We
But-
use a different system.
Yeah.
But if you didn't
If
use
you
that,
didn't,
yeah.
or if I was a new employee and thought, well, maybe, click, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think about, well, you know, what you said about, we're fortunate, we don't really, we keep a lot of information, but it's nothing, you know, we're not keeping credit cards on file, you know, we're really not taking payments, you know.
Well,
electronic
they're not
that way.
going after that information. They just want you to fear losing that data. You have all that manpower, all those hours building that database. They lock it up,
yeah.
and then they ask for money. They go, "You want this back?" Like there was a trucking company, they had like 600 units, and they had a brokerage and all that. They got nailed with ransomware, and it brought their entire operations to a halt because they didn't know where to send the loads. They didn't know what was on the manifest. Everything was locked down, and it was one of those incidents where the hacker actually deleted the system after being paid, and it took months to rebuild the entire database.
Oh, we
And
saw that on that pipeline.
Well, there's the pipeline that got hacked, and I think they,
that was ransomware as well.
yeah, well, I can't remember what they ended up doing. I think they ended up paying
$5
them.
million.
Yeah.
Russian hackers on that deal. Yeah, I
But,
remember that one.
I mean, obviously, we're in the business to provide insurance, but we are not trying to sell you another policy. We want you to be aware. If you think we're trying to sell you, call another agent and get a quote. Just get a quote. Everybody that has a business has an exposure.
yeah.
And if you have a low exposure, your premium's probably not going to be that high.
Well, and not only that, it's really funny because the way to get these quotes is super simple. You like give them your name, you give them just basic information, and they already rate most businesses out there, these cyber companies, they have in their database your rating of your company right now. So they already know what type of exposure you're looking at. We have this other little side thing going on, but I actually had a cyber quote done, and it took 2 minutes, and my rating was like an 80 something, like, oh, you're doing really good. I was like, yeah, that's because I don't actually have any computers. But it was just interesting that they had already had all of what they thought was my rating. And then on top of that, they were like, oh, and by the way, there is, you know, your password or your emails out there on the dark web, but no password. I was like, oh, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But they already knew the exposure before they even gave you a quote. So they're watching it if
Well,
you're not.
If you are listening out there and you're thinking, it doesn't cost anything for a quote.
Nope.
You can call for a free quote and let you know what's going on, let you know kind of your exposure and all that. So today's the day to do that. How do they get a hold of you guys?
Oh, they can call us at 940-549-2525. Come see us on the second floor of Ciera Bank building.
Or that's in Graham. And then if you are in Hudson Oaks, you can call us at 817-770-0096 or come see us at 2950 Fort Worth Highway Suite 500.
Oh, or online, brianins.com.
That's Brian with a Y.
So go check it out. If you need some help with your cyber liability, today is the day to go get the quote.
Yes, it is.
All right, get it done. All right, guys, thanks for coming by. Thanks for visiting with us today. And don't forget Monica's breakfast tomorrow.
That's right.
Yay, come see me.
All right.
I promise not to cook.
There's breakfast tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, at the VFW.
Oh,
From
yummy.
6 to 11.
6
Oh,
o'clock.
that means I have to wake up. Oh.
Until 11.
Till 11. You can still get there, I promise.
Make it. All right. Thank you guys so much. All right, guess what? It's time for Off the Wall News. Grant Ingram, the great Grant Ingram,
I got it.
Chief Meteorologist and Off the Wall News